some current catalysts, right, that are going to be happening in the upcoming weeks and months. Most likely, at least. Most of these are very for sure. So I want to detail those one by one, along with going over the tweet that we got in the news today. This is from Bionano, of course, and this is a little event that they're going to be doing, a virtual booth. So that's some marketing action that we're going to be doing, some exposure. I want to go over some details there that I think are important, along with the short interest data that is not negligible in any way, shape, or form, and the Cancer Genomics Consortium. That's coming up August 1st to 4th, along with the filings. We got some new filings today, and I want to go over, and I want to tell you guys, if the institution's selling out. Oh, no, institution's selling out. What does that mean, Brandon? I want to go over that, if that's actually something to worry about, right? Please watch that part and do not assume I'm bearish. Hell no, you know I'm the most bullish bull there is. In the quarter two earnings, I want to go over the actual numbers, give you another chance to write down those numbers and get a little bit more of and understand a little bit more of my epistemology, if you will, of these projections that I have here. We have a new job listing as well. We're going to go over this and the peculiar delisting of a ton of job listings, because this was 29 yesterday, to my understanding, if I remember correctly. It's 21 today, so that's weird. And what you can do to help the actual interest of Bionano, and that actually is crucial to the short-term and mid-term, maybe even long-term success of Bionano, actually, believe it or not. And we're going to do over the technical analysis and my portfolio, if I held, sold, bought today. What's going on? We're up 4% a day. Pat yourselves on the back for that. Congratulations to anyone who freaking bought in the fives, man. Freaking legendary people who bought in the fives, including myself. Humble brag there. I always find a way to brag, even though I've loaded 300 shares, like 670. I did catch 542, 541. That is where I bought the dip. That's my best buy so far, and it was only 15 shares. Anyways, we're going to go over that and the technical analysis and stuff, and if we're in bullish bearish territory, starting off by detailing these catalysts one by one. Earnings is the first one. Now, this is a potential one, but nonetheless, I think we got a damn good chance at kicking ass in the earnings. Now, that's as simple as it gets. Also, the proprietary laboratory analyses codes. Now, these are going to become effective in October. On October 1st, that's when they become effective, to my understanding, and these are a crucial step to getting the insurance companies to cover Sapphire's use, and government reimbursables. Two key things for Sapphire adoptions. If we were to get both of those things right now, that would likely make sales, I don't want to say skyrocket, but they would definitely increase in the aggregate, that's for sure. Lineage and growth plan. Now, this was I get that, because that was in a job listing a few days ago, this week, I believe, or last week at the latest. They took that down, or at least I couldn't find it. So I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on with their listings. I'm hoping that they just are, they either found someone already or they're just reorganizing it. That's why the results are gone. And that's why that listing of the lineage and growth plan responsibility is gone. But I'm going to keep it as a catalyst right now, because even if they're not having a growth plan in a list and a responsibility of a job listing on LinkedIn, they still are going to be growing lineage, and probably more than we know, most likely. All right, Sapphire 2.0 as well. That's a catalyst. That one's pretty self-explanatory. 2023, it's coming. Nanonozzle, that one is. Please watch the other videos. I'm not even going to do the nanonozzle thing, but that is going to be huge for the stock if we were to get that. Watch other videos on that, please. No offerings. The CEO said in the last interview, or last presentation, I should say, there's no. I circled the nanonozzle. He said there's no. They don't expect to be in the market back refinancing and back financing. They don't think that's going to be happening. So that is basically essentially means no offerings, to my understanding at least. Applications that have not even been developed. That's a quote by the CEO of the Sapphire. Applications of the Sapphire that's not even developed yet. Think about what that means. Think about what that could mean for the innovation potential in the Sapphire and what it could be doing in the future. LDT accreditation for the laboratory developed tests. These were supposed to be accredited in quarter two. We haven't got any PR on that. I'm assuming they already are. I'm assuming that they will bring this up in the earnings report. I hope they will. So that's something as well. And then commercial release of prenatal assays and expansion of menu pediatric assays. Okay, yada, yada. And then you got the interim results of one of the large clinical studies. And then you got another 3 LDTs getting their billing codes and getting validated in quarter four. So these are all great things. And I know these three are a little bit complicated. Just think of these things. Just think of this. Okay, this is marketing. Also, maybe FDA approval evidence as well, maybe. This is going to be likely the more LDTs that we have, the better, essentially. Also, more assays we have, the better. So it can only help us. It can only help the sales. So this is good stuff that's going to help us. And these are some catalysts that you probably want to mark down or be aware of, at least if you're going to be thinking about selling or short-term trading it, right? Imagine if the nanonozzle commercially releases. Imagine if the insurance company's covering us and government reimbursal happens like that. Bionano announces it. We're going up 20% or 50%, whatever it is. I don't know how much we would go up, right? No, it depends on the details most likely and the market and a ton of other things. But it's hard to predict when Bionano will react to news, and that's something to definitely know and understand why it's risky short-term trading it if you believe in the company long-term. Anyways, this is the other piece of news today. We got August 30th, 28th to 31st, end of next month. These guys, they're going to be doing the, Bionano is going to be at this little event here, ES, HG 2021, whatever. Virtual booth, e-poster session. Okay, I'm not really excited for this, to be honest with you, but that's the tweet that we got today, so it's good to see that they're doing more marketing nonetheless. Short interest data, you're still looking very high. There's not much to say here. You're at 50 million shares sold short. If a catalyst were to drop like that, boom, squeeze is going to happen. Is it going to be a true 100% short squeeze? I don't know, but by definition, shorts will be covering. That's as simple as it gets. Some of them will be covering. You'll be getting a little bit of squeezing of the shorts, most likely, and you're going to be seeing an increase in price that is higher than what you expected if we were to get a huge catalyst. And that's why it's so dangerous, in my opinion. That's one of the reasons why it's dangerous to short-term trade it and sell out and then go all in, sell out, go all in. If you're going to trade it, at least keep some shares in your Roth account or something, but that's just me. Hey, make your own opinions, your money, right? Cancer Genetics Consortium, this is happening at August 1st to 4th. That's coming up quicker than we know. That's like 10 days from now. That's going to be good, most likely. I'm looking forward to that. Institutional filings, let's look at the filing details, right? I do have premium FinSuff, so you are welcome. We get to see the juicy details. They have 300 shares. It's not even, I mean, they sold out, right? This freaking red bar here makes it look so much more menacing than it is. I mean, this is like me selling a small amount in my position. Think about how small my position is compared to many of you. You guys know exactly how many shares I have if you watch the technical analysis or the portfolio showcase, which I hope you do, because I show it every damn video. These guys only sold 330 shares, so I'm not worried whatsoever. Institutional ownership is still very high. I'm not even worried about the other filings because they're not notable whatsoever. So I'll leave you with that for the filings today. Also, okay, I'll just make it simple. All right. If we're going to hit 3.5 million in revenue, we're probably going to stay the same for price. This is for quarter 2 earnings, by the way. This is going to happen in mid-August, so I'm going to try to write this as best I can with the mouse. It's very hard with a sensitive mouse cursor, but base case, I'm going to say that's going to take us to about $7 to $9, and these are very conservative. So $9, probably more like 8 to 9, to be honest with you. And then bull case, that's going to be 9. That's going to be 9 plus easily. Most likely. And I know these numbers, I know it's hard. It's really hard to do this. It's really hard to say what we're probably going to go to if we were to get what, but that's just my opinion. And this is okay, if it's an EPS beat, imagine if we were profitable this quarter. Imagine if the expenses are just extremely low for some crazy reason, right? That would be, obviously that's probably not going to happen, or imagine if the nanonails, imagine if they give us a timeline that's Savard 2.0, it's quicker. Imagine if they give us forward guidance, like, okay, we're going to make 20 million this year. That's 5 million more than the Simply Wall Street consensus. We're going to go up a ton. So there's a ton of contingencies in this, but that's like a ballpark of some of the very rough numbers that I'm thinking. So this is the listing today. This is the regional channel manager. And if you look at some of this, I'm not really excited about this, to be honest with you, at all. But I like the fact that they're still doing new listings. I am confused, however, about what's going on with the amount of listings they have. So I don't know. I'm a little bit confused there that there's only 21 now. But anyways, we're going to be watching that in the next few days, and I can give you a better extrapolation as to what's going on there in the next few days. Because right now it's just very confusing why they decreased by 9, and they're still doing a couple new ones. Anyways, and then this interesting, I'm going to say that for you in the very end. And the technical analysis today, let's do the technical analysis. So the 4-hourly. Stochastic indicator, you're looking overbought, so that's like a sell signal, right? It's sell signal. Well, here's the thing with the 4-hourly, right? This is a sell signal. This is telling you to sell all your shares right now. Get the hell out before you lose a ton of money. If we maximize the chart so you can actually see what I'm doing here, this thing has been wrong so many times. So many times, right? I mean, if this is a horrible indicator, right? This is telling you to sell at $6. This is telling you to sell at $5 a share on May 13th, on May 14th, right? That's as simple as it gets. So you got to be really careful when you are paying attention to an indicator with a horrible track record like that. When it comes to the RSI, Road Trend Index in the 4-hourly, this thing has a much better track record in the recent past, at least, right? Perfectly, I mean, not perfectly, but very well, timed the bottom pretty damn well, and it timed the top perfectly, right? The only time you hit 90 or 80 on the RSI is when it was like, okay, get the hell out of this. It's time to get out, or you're going to lose a lot of money. And now, where are we at, Brandon? Which is the time to sell now? We are literally, I mean, we're only at 60. We're only at 60 on the RSI. And also, if anyone's saying, Brandon, we're getting closer to the it's time to sell, think of it this way. Okay, last time we were at one time we were at 74, and that was before the huge run-up right here. So I think we have plenty of room to run based on that. And also look at the Supertrend, the SAR. We're in completely bullish territory. We have a confirmation break. We have a confirmed breakout. If you look at the daily, we broke out of the ascending resistance that is now turned support, because we broke it and we confirmed it today. Essentially, I would call it confirmed. We have a daily close and it confirmed it in the intraday as well. Kind of. It wasn't the cleanest, but it confirmed it, and we closed above 622. So that's hopefully this ascending level is gonna act as support. Hopefully, that's what we're hoping, and we'll see. The price action has been very iffy when it comes to rejecting and confirming certain levels of resistance and support. So hopefully we'll get a clear trend as to where those lines need to be drawn soon. And the last thing I'll show you for the technical analysis is the stochastic oscillator on the daily. You're still in buy territory. You're still in oversold territory. Essentially, I mean, you're basically there. The D line is at 20. That's as simple as it gets. So are you sell? You want to sell when the RSI on the daily is closer to being oversold, along with the stochastic indicator, same exact situation? It's very hard for me to tell people and warn people that, you know, this may be the top. Of course, I always say all the time, sell if you don't know what you're doing. But the fact is, the technicals look damn good right now, and we have, if the high growth sector is going to give us a chance and go sideways or up, we will have a chance to outperform. That's my opinion, but we'll see. I do think things are brewing behind the scenes, and I do think we have good things to come. But with that being said, I'm going to show you the portfolio. There you go. Okay, those are my total. Those are how many shares I have. And then I'm also going to talk about the interest of the stock. I want you guys to realize when we were at all-time highs, that was with a huge interest, right? We were at February 16th. We had 45 in interest in, okay, this is stocks. Oh my gosh, I put stocks instead of BNGO. Wow, Brent, nice job. Let's go here. Okay, BNGO. It's very similar, actually, believe it or not. On February 16th-ish, we had, January, February, when we started running. That's when we had a huge amount of interest, right? February 16th, you're looking at about 39 interest. What are we looking at now? Barely. I mean, we're looking at like 10. Right? On July 11th to 17th, we're looking at 16. How do we, as retail investors, increase the interest of Bionano? And why does that matter? Essentially, it matters because the more people that know about BNGO, the more long-term investors in the aggregate that we have because of such an auspicious and attractive fundamental company. That's as simple as it gets. And the best way to do that and increase the knowledge of people that actually know about us is this. And I know it sounds selfish and it sounds biased, but it's true that if this channel does well, I don't really care. I mean, the subs are great, but what we actually need is views. We need new viewers to see what we see with the company. We need them to see these numbers right here, the discounted cash flow model. We need these people to see this and understand why this is so likely to happen and understand what the nanonozzle is and read the documents from 5 years ago, or literally in 2016 patents about nanonozzle and the right for the sequencing field option and the Sapphire specs and greater than 500 base pair detection. What makes OGM special? This channel is the best. If you're a BNGO shareholder, if this channel does well, not only does it increase the amount of new investors that are going to invest in BNGO, but it's also going to It's also going to make me have way more shares, because all the money I make from YouTube, the very small amount of money I make from YouTube, 99% of it is all thrown right back into BNGO. That's as simple as it gets. My goal is 10,000 shares by the end of the year. Hopefully YouTube can help me do that. With that being said, here's the portfolio, and thank you so much. This is not financial advice. I will see y'all in the next one.